Alright, so I want to make this video 'cause there is a lot of doom and gloom being posted with King's Raid right now, and I don't blame people. Who have seen my previous videos know I'm a bit of a doom and gloom singer myself, but I want to taper things a little bit, so I want to discuss this from the position of someone who's been playing video games since the 90s, so I'm a lot more experienced with games going through their lifetime as far as like a game's rise to popularity, its peak, and then its eventual downfall and death of a game, because games do die. I know a lot of the people that play King's Raid, they're not as experienced with that life cycle, so I just want to give my perspective on that and give some advice for players as a whole going forward. So let's talk about the position King's Raid is in right now. Obviously, King's Raid is not doing very well. There's a lot of reasons for that. I've discussed in previous videos about Vespa's lack of content updates and listening to the community. And they're still definitely in that position, so I'm not going to say that Vespa has changed or has been taking the right steps, because they most likely have not been. But I want to give advice towards the players on what they should do. So, if you are still enjoying King's Raid, you should still play King's Raid. I know as someone who talks a lot of crap about Vespa and King's Raid as a whole, that seems a little weird coming from me, but if you are genuinely enjoying yourself, why stop? Enjoy it while you can, because it will be gone eventually. So get your enjoyment while you can. You can sit there and think like, oh well, it'll all be meaningless, when the server shuts down. That's every game though. I've played MMOs that have been shut down. I played Dark Ages of Camelot way back when. I played Final Fantasy XI for a really long time. I played Final Fantasy XI for 7 years. When it was at its peak, I played Ion Tower of Eternity. So, like, I've seen games rise and fall. Yeah, your progress will eventually mean nothing eventually. That's just the reality. That's any game you play. So, you kind of have to just learn to accept that. Like, understand that, like, when you're putting your time into the game, try to enjoy it for the moments. Not the long term, not the progress. I know a lot of these RPG style games are very much tailored around the progression being the thing you want to achieve, but your progression will eventually vanish, but different memories of stuff will hang on a lot better. Like with King's Raid here, I mean, some of my most enjoyable times was like when I first started, and Black Dragon gear was the real popular thing back then. So you would farm Black Dragon parties. You would just join up with randos, or have like guildmates join you, and I had like 2 specific guildmates, Machination and Fifth, who always joined me and helped me farm. It was either farming Black Dragon or farming Red Dragon in a lot of cases. Just getting geared up, and when Manticore was really hard to get. So, I remember times like that, like spending, a couple hours doing some Black Dragon and then sifting through the gear and asking them for advice and trying to figure out what DPS I wanted to build for the first time, because I had no idea who to build. I was just saving unique weapons. So, and then when TM eventually came out and I was farming with like Rotundo or Shifu, or Zaya and other people. So you try to enjoy the times that you have there. I remember farming together and being excited not just when I got drops, but seeing the people I was farming with. But nowadays, we don't really have any group content. There's the group CRs, and I have some fond memories doing some group CRs with people, but that's semi-infrequent because, you know, it's kind of a once every 4 week thing. Yeah, it's active for 2 weeks, but then it's 2 weeks of solo, so it's a 4 week cycle before you get to the next boss and new rewards. So it's a long gap. But yeah, I mean, the games just kind of push people to single player playing by themselves, and that's not how a community stays together. Players that play together stay together. And Vespa very much lost sight of that, I think. So if you're still enjoying the game though, and there's people you enjoy playing with, by all means, you know, do that. If you're not enjoying the game, my advice is, yeah, you probably should quit. I know that I'm going to be still playing, at least for the foreseeable future. I don't plan on quitting yet. It is something I do think about. But again, there's still things that I personally enjoy, so I'm willing to stick around for the things I enjoy. It does mean I play a lot less. Anyone who has here been watching my channels can obviously tell that I upload much less videos than I used to. And that's just because there's just not as much to do. There's not much to achieve, there's not much to do videos on. People don't really need guides for Tower Challenge. I think most people kind of know what's going on with Trials, and there's plenty of guides for that. TM raids are mostly kind of figured out nowadays. And Divine Punishment, I think the changes were not good. I don't like the mana burn mechanic, because I think that just threw a wrench in a lot of people. Like, a lot of people were set up for Apocalypseon and were really comfortable with their runs, and then Vespa just pulls the rug out from under those players, and I think that's kind of a dick move to do. I don't think it's kind of, I think it is a dick to do. I think that was pretty fucked up of them to do. But yeah, I mean, if you're not enjoying the game anymore, definitely, you know, look for other stuff to play. I mean, there's always other games out there. And I don't mean go play some other gacha games. Let's be honest here. You shouldn't play gacha games. I shouldn't play gacha games. We shouldn't even let monkeys play gacha games. I think they're a terrible model for games, and I think gamers as a whole kind of need to realize that and stop supporting games like that. King's Raid, yeah, there was gacha elements, but like when I first started playing, gacha wasn't really that important of an aspect of the game. You could very much focus on just building a hero you wanted to build. You could use pretty much any DPS for most content. So you weren't really worried about things like that. But you know, I just want to say, you know, if a lot of us have put a lot of time into King's Raid. I've been playing for, let's see here, 1,344 days. So yeah, this July will be my 4th year of playing King's Raid, or the end of my 4th year, going into 5th. And I've yet to miss a day. Not once have I broken my login streak since I started playing. And I'll probably stay that way. It's just the kind of game player that I am. But you know, I quit Final Fantasy XI when I was no longer enjoying the game, and it became just a massive chore. I quit Ion when they were doing an absolutely piss poor job handling the decline of the game, because the server populations dropped massively. They started merging servers, they handled the mergers improperly. The PvP became horrifically imbalanced, and they locked down the transfers from servers. Yeah, they really screwed the pooch on that, and I was like, yep, no, I'm out. This is not fun, and it's not fair to the community. But you know, there's people I still talk to that I played Final Fantasy 11 with. There's people I still talk to that I played Ion with. Isn't anyone I still talk to that I played Dark Ages of Camelot with? But I mean, that was a long time ago, and social media and stuff wasn't really much of a thing yet. I mostly was just guild chats. Like I didn't even like have emails or anything for anyone yet. So, yeah. So but there's still people I keep in touch with, and there's friends that you made while playing King's Raid. You know, stay in contact with them. If there's the kind of people you enjoy having around you. You know, keep them around. You know, I know it sounds corny, and it's all about the friends we made along the way. No, it's fucking stupid. But if you made a friend, you know, keep a friend. That's what I'm trying to say. And then as far as like, you know, quitting, like don't try to make a big spectacle at it. I see a lot of people doing that, like I'm quitting for this reason, you know, or making like public announcements on Twitter or in certain Discords. You kind of look like a fucking goofball. I'm gonna be real fucking honest with you if you're doing stuff like that. You know, like let people you know that like play with you and everything. You know, hey, you know, I'm gonna wind back from this, or I'm just gonna stop playing this and look for something else to play. You know, let the people that are important to you know. You don't need to let like the whole world know, or you know your 91 followers on Twitter. I don't like. Maybe they care, but it still comes off as a bit pretentious. I'm gonna say. Vespa doesn't give a shit about any one of you. They don't even give a shit about Mita. They don't give a shit about Flynn. They don't give a shit about Shao. Any of the Koreans from Hall of Fame or anything like that. They don't care. You're a fucking number to them, if anything. Because let's be honest, like King's Raid, while even when it was like popular, I'd say there was never really more than like say 50,000-ish active players at any time. It's hard to say because I didn't keep like a lot of numbers on it. I am aware of like a lot of the numbers now. Like on NA, we're down to about maybe 4,000 players active on North America. I imagine Europe's probably around 2,000 to 3,000. Japan might be around 10 or so. There's definitely a huge decline, and I can see that in the League of Honor numbers, like how many players are active in League of Honor that are Platinum and above has massively dropped. Like a couple seasons ago, it was around 23,000. I think just last season it was only like 15,000-ish. So, you know, we've lost like a third of the player base in like half a year. You know, stuff like that happens. It just is what it is. So, but you know, it's not so much about what you achieved. Like, I'm not gonna like remember beating like Sky 10 with Celine by eating dust bombs. Like, you know, yeah, maybe I'll have like a glimpse of a memory, but that's not the most important stuff to me. Like, the stuff is like meeting people I enjoyed playing with, you know, people like Left Ear or Machination, Fifth, Revan, Trilobite, you know, people that are, you know, really down to earth, good people that you know, that for the most part, you know, treat people with respect and whatnot. So that's how I feel. So just try to surround yourself with good people. Try to enjoy the decline. Yes, the game is in its decline. It's I would even go so far as to say the game is literally in its death throes. The game's dying. Vespa is trying to, or was trying to do anything they can, but now maybe they're actually past the death throes, because the most recent post says they're basically just going to do updates just whenever the fuck they feel like it, which kind of just tells me that they're just not doing or planning anything. They say it's so they can get King's Raid 2 out quicker, which, I mean, it's already been delayed how many times, so how many? Who knows? I don't even know if they have like a concrete plan. They clearly didn't have a concrete plan for King's Raid 1 in the state that it's in right now. So people having faith like, oh, well, they're going to get it right with King's Raid 2. Like, why would you think that? I mean, it's the same people that are in charge, same people at the helm. Oh, jeez, I'm just getting my ass kicked in Arena right now. And this is, again, this is one of the reasons that people are quitting, is just Arena is shit right now. Nobody likes playing this, this dog shit Arena. This unbalanced piece of shit, loaded with way too much Dispel / CCs. Too many OP heroes that do way too much fucking damage. But yeah, we're pissed at Krisha one-shotting people, but oh, when Rebel Klaus does it, it's fine. Fuck off, Vespa, you fucking pieces of shit. But that's my advice to players, though. If you're still enjoying the game, go ahead and keep playing the game. If you're not enjoying it, find something you enjoy. It will be better for you. And if this is the first game that you've experienced dying, know that other games will go through the same thing. Not every game's gonna last a decade or 2 decades. You know, and it's okay. It doesn't have to last forever. It doesn't have to be everything you want it to be, or oh god damn, that Bernheim's tough. My advice for Vespa, you really fucked the pooch on this, didn't you? You were told for like 2 fucking years to get your shit, or pull your head out of your fucking ass. Start getting content for players. Stop fucking around. Do some proper events. Follow through with any of the fucking promises, or follow like any of the suggestions from surveys. The only suggestion you did follow was the goddamn swimsuits, and we made fun of you for that. So maybe that's partly our fault. Maybe we shouldn't have made fun of you so hard for following through on that. But it got a little absurd when you went for a damn near full fucking year of fucking swimsuit costumes. And let's be honest, they're not fucking swimsuits. They're goddamn lingerie. You're just literally just trying to sell people lingerie in a fucking game, which, like, I get it sells, but I mean, it's a little too on the nose. It kind of sticks out like you're trying a little too fucking hard, and people can smell bullshit. So, but all you had to do is release some decent content, and not just for in-game players. I know a lot of in-game players are like, oh, there's nothing to do. Like, we need harder content. It's like, well, we also need content that newer and middle-tier players can jump into and feel like they're alongside us. Like, now that we have players that were previously beating Apocalypsion who now can't beat Apocalypsion, you just fuck them in the ass for no fucking good reason. What, you think they're going to pay money? They're going to buy some soul stones with rubies or something? Like, that's going to get them ahead? Like, no, they're just going to be like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to fucking play this game anymore. Because that's what's happening. But you did this to yourselves. I don't envy the position you're in. You had plenty of opportunities to right the ship. At this point, it's sinking so bad that I don't think I have any good suggestions that can fix things now. Because I think most things that you could try could potentially shoot yourselves in the foot again. Just like, you shoved out these fucking runes that nobody asked for, nobody fucking wanted. And you did a lot of fucking damage, because just like many things, you never fucking tested what the fuck you were putting out. So you had 2 broken runes get out of the fucking wild. The Meteor rune and the Oath rune. So, it's your own fucking damn faults. You people are completely and utterly competent. You spent nearly 3 fucking years not fixing practically any of the fucking bugs or crashing in the game. You think people are just gonna fucking stay around forever for a game that fucking runs like fucking ass? Like, I haven't played a lot of I don't know if other mobile games are in a similar position, but my understanding is most mobile games don't have the kind of fucking problems that King's Raid has. So what are you offering that makes you better? You keep pushing more and more towards gacha shit. The unlocking heroes is not like the biggest thing anymore. A, you're not really releasing many heroes anymore, and then when you do, you're just fucking power creeping old heroes like fucking crazy. So we're at a point where 80-ish fucking heroes of the 102 fucking heroes in the game are fucking useless or borderline useless. And you had your chance to fucking fix it with balancing, but you did that wrong. We kept making fun of you for just slapping non-hero on shit. We're like, that's not going to fix the balance problem. You're just going to be reshuffling, who's OP and who's not. You're not actually going to bring balance to the heroes. And yeah, sure enough, we were right. We told you, and you just fucking did it anyways. So you had no one that's at the helm who actually understands the game or the mechanics of the game, or has a clear vision of where they want the game to be. Or if you do have someone who has a vision of where the game wants to be, their vision is absolutely wrong, and they need to get fucking fired. Like, just straight up. Because if their vision conflicts so heavily with what the community's vision is, like, I understand it's not going to be one-to-one. It's not going to be the same. What the community wants, what the developer wants. It's not going to be the same. But you can't just go just what the community wants, because you go too heavily into what the community wants. Community, as a whole, is pretty fucking stupid. And they'll ask for stupid shit that will ruin the fucking game super fast. But at the same time, there is wisdom from the community, and you do have to parse through that and figure out what's the right things to bring over to keep the community happy. Because if you're not doing anything the community wants, why the fuck should they play your game? So it's a balancing act. So I'm not saying what the correct portion is between rather doing what the developer wants versus what the community wants, but you have to find a balance between the two. Or find the position on the scale where it's just right, where it's just enough of what the developer wants while keeping the community happy, or keeping the community happy while making sure the developer's still putting out something that they agree with. It's a compromise, but that's not what you've been doing for the last 2 years, though. As for new content, you did do some new content that's not bad. Stuff like, I thought Arctum was pretty good, except for one major fatal flaw. Arctum's flaw is that you can't fucking play it, and we complained about this when you released Devourer Shackmate. We did not, people do auto in this game. But some people want to be able to play content, especially if playing the content would allow them to clear a higher stage than they would on auto. Because players want to make sure they're getting the max reward until they build up to the point of being able to auto it. By taking away the player's ability to play the game, that's... What is this, fucking cookie clicker, auto clicker? If the players can't even play the game, what's the fucking point of it being a fucking game? So, Arctum, The rewards were fine. We were really worried about like the enchants coming to TM, but you actually controlled the numbers. You made sure like the percentages weren't too high, weren't too out of control. You know, it was kind of small percentages. Yeah, there was some RNG to it. I think that was mostly fine. The biggest problem with Arctum is that you can't fucking play it. So like, yeah, you can get a friend, and it's very helpful to get a friend who can handle one of the damage sides that you're not able to, and you auto it together. But it'd be a little funner if it was something that you could play together, or if you had to fight both bosses at the same time, and the players had to work together or something. But you didn't do that. You didn't want something that players can actually enjoy together. You just wanted some RNG enchants and hope that people buy resets so they can just try to get the best rolls on their enchants, get the right stats. So that's something you did right. The runes you did wrong. TEB you did wrong, honestly, because you sure as fuck didn't test or think out like what these skills would do to the balance of the game. Fucking looking at you, fucking Def Ignore. Damage increase. So that shit fucking ruined a lot of shit. Trials weren't handled very well, especially at release. Like, it just doesn't feel like you're releasing content that's in a state that's beneficial to the community first versus beneficial to your fucking wallet. And players can smell that. We know what you are doing. People may excuse it in many cases, and I think a lot of people did excuse it from you guys for a long time, but they're not excusing it anymore because people lose their patience for that. People were willing to tolerate it from you for a period of time because they thought you would turn it around and stop doing it eventually, or things would shape up or be better down the line. But once people start to realize that you're not going to turn it around, you're not going to make it better, they will hate you more than anything else on this fucking earth. And you have no one to blame but yourself, and you absolutely deserve all the vitriol and hatred you're getting right now. So that's my advice to Vespa. If you're still here listening to this, I hope you enjoyed my talk. I hope you take something from this, from your experience. Not just like with watching my channel and stuff, but from King's Raid as a whole. I hope something does stick with you and that it wasn't a complete waste of time for you. That you have some memory, some thing that was meaningful that you can take from the game and continue on with your life. Enjoy things. Enjoy life while you can, because it's not going to last forever.